Welcome to Indie Radio Newsreel. I'm Prathmesh and you're listening to the news updates for 14 January 2025. Here are the international news updates for today. Qatar says Gaza ceasefire deal at closest point. Mediator Qatar says a Gaza ceasefire deal is at the closest point it has been in the past few months, adding that many of the obstacles in the negotiations have been ironed out. Reports say there would be 3 phases to the deal, with 3 hostages released on the first day and Israel beginning to withdraw troops. After that, Qatari mediators say both sides could still get lost in details and a deal could fall through. Meanwhile, at least 61 Palestinians have been killed and 281 others injured in Israeli attacks across the Gaza Strip in the past 24 hours. NATO launches new mission to protect crucial undersea cables. NATO has launched a new mission to increase the surveillance of ships in the Baltic Sea after critical undersea cables were damaged or severed last year. NATO Chief Mark Rutte said the mission, dubbed Baltic Sentry, would involve more patrol aircraft, warships, and drones. While Russia was not directly singled out as a culprit in the cable damage, Rutte said NATO would step up its monitoring of Moscow's shadow fleet, ships without clear ownership. New red flag warning for Los Angeles amid still burning wildfires. Firefighters are battling several blazes in the Los Angeles area as US officials urge residents to prepare for the return of strong winds that could potentially cause explosive fire growth. Authorities say progress is being made to contain the major Palisades, Eaton, and Hearst fires, which have killed at least 24 people and have destroyed more than 12,000 homes. The containment efforts come as the US National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for much of Southern California and warns Ventura and Los Angeles counties face the extreme of extreme fire weather scenarios. Now to the national news stories. India demands Russia to release all Indians serving in Russian military. India demanded today that Russia release all Indian nationals serving in its military following the death of another citizen on the front lines of the conflict in Ukraine. This has taken the number of deaths so far to 10. The External Affairs Ministry said an Indian national from Kerala was killed and another from the same state was injured. The Indian side has repeatedly called for the release of all Indians serving as support staff, such as cooks and helpers, with Russian military units. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said the matter was strongly taken up with Russian authorities in Moscow and with the Russian embassy in New Delhi today. House panel to summon Mark Zuckerberg's Meta. Meta is set to get a summons from a parliamentary standing committee over its boss Mark Zuckerberg's remark on the 2024 Indian general election. Nishikant Dubey, BJP MP and chairman of the House panel on Communication and Information Technology, said Meta would be summoned on grounds of spreading misinformation. In a podcast on January 10th, the 40-year-old Facebook co-founder said the COVID pandemic has led to an erosion of trust in incumbent governments the world over. He also mentioned India. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw slammed Zuckerberg soon after and mentioned that NDA had come to power for the third time in India. Maharashtra man dies of banned nylon kite string. A 23-year-old man died after a nylon manja slit his throat while he was riding a motorcycle in Maharashtra's Nasik city today. The incident occurred in the Pathardi village circle area around 12:30 p.m. and officials said the victim, Sonu Kisan Dhotre, was riding towards Pathardi Fata from Devlari camp when a nylon manja slit his throat. He suffered a deep wound around his neck. Thank you for listening to Indie Radio Newsreel. For more news, audiobooks, and podcasts, stay tuned to Indie Radio or log on to www.indiejournal.in. Also consider subscribing to listen to our premium shows.